School shooting threat hoax. This chilling video shows students running out of Blythewood High School in Richland County yesterday. Law enforcement quickly determined the incidents were swatting calls and there were no real threats. The Richland County Sheriff said yesterday these threats are tied to TikTok. No other officials have confirmed that. Blythewood was just one of at least 18 schools across South Carolina that received fake school shooting threats yesterday, and 5 of those schools in our area. Those are Conway, Loris, Wilson, and Myrtle Beach High Schools and Myrtle Beach Middle School. We are working for you tonight, checking in with all the investigating agencies and the Horry County School District on their status of their investigations. ABC 15's Jenna Horezo spoke with Horry County Schools spokesperson Lisa Bourcier. Jenna?
Connor, Bourcier tells me they have someone on staff who monitors social media posts to stay ahead of any trends or threats. But they also look to parents to report anything suspicious they see. This is the email sent to parents after the 4th threat was received at Horry County Schools Wednesday, as police rushed to schools and principals locked them down. We asked Horry County Schools spokesperson Lisa Bourcier about the chaos caused by the threats.
You know, it's terrible that there are individuals out there in the world that want to instill fear and cause such chaos. But that's what we felt. I think that's what a lot of parents felt, especially in the very early stages.
Bourcier says dealing with threats is all about having a trusting relationship between the district, staff, students, and parents. And that trust starts with having difficult conversations.
I think it's an opportunity for that bonding with the parents and students to really talk about how they feel safe, what they need to feel safe, and just those conversations. And again, it's all about relationships and the trust factor between all parties.
She says the communication between staff and students continued all throughout yesterday as principals went classroom to classroom after the threats to speak with students and help ease their minds.
We always have counseling services available at all of our schools. If there's any need from a child or a parent that needs some additional comforting, that we're able to provide those services as well for them.
She says this type of communication with school and law enforcement officials is part of their education program for both students and parents.
First and foremost, they're saying that no students or anyone else for that matter were injured today while responding to these calls. Now, South Carolina law enforcement says that the calls for Myrtle Beach Middle School, where we're at now, came in around 9:30 this morning. We then learned that other similar calls were happening all across the state for other schools in their areas as well. And tonight, along with all of the local investigations that'll be taking place for these, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division and the FBI have also gotten involved. After receiving a call about a school shooting, Master Corporal Thomas Vest with the Myrtle Beach Police says a heavy law enforcement presence responded to Myrtle Beach Middle School. And Horry County School spokesperson Lisa Bourcier tells me this was the caller's intention and the school was immediately placed on lockdown.
Still took it seriously and followed all of our emergency protocols that we have at the school level.
Myrtle Beach Middle Schooler Dylan Morris was inside of the school when the lockdown happened.
Our 8th grade assistant principal, Mr. Gray, came on the intercom and said we are going into a lockdown. And so at that point I knew how one or two things. It's either a drill or it's not a drill. And I could tell from my teacher's face that it was probably not a drill.
Then 3 more Horry County schools, Loris High School, Conway High School, and Myrtle Beach High School also got the same calls. And so did nearly a dozen other schools across the state, including Wilson High School in Florence. Law enforcement quickly determined the incidents as swatting calls.
The school administrators were able to reach out to their parents and talk with their students exactly what was going on to help put everyone at ease as quickly as possible once we realized that it was a hoax.
While Morris is thankful this was just a prank call, he says it was an overwhelming experience.
I was texting my mom in the middle of it, and I texted her. I about cried from how much stuff I was taking in.
Like many other students this afternoon, his mom picked him up early to take him home.
It felt very good, really good, because I couldn't imagine what my mom would feel if I wasn't here right now.
Conversations about shootings and violence at school is a topic Amber Willits and her 2 sons have had multiple times. Jennifer, they're only 8 and 9 years old. Today's incidents are the reason mother of two Amber Willits gets nervous dropping her kids off at school.
It's pretty sad that we have to feel like, every day that we do send them off to school that they're not safe. And that does concern me a little bit. So I make sure I tell them I love them every day and, pray for the best.
She tells me that talking about these topics like gun violence at school allows her to answer any questions they may have.
I am a very transparent mother with my kids, and I always raise awareness with any type of situation like that. We will sit down and talk about it regardless. And I hope the other parents do the same.
9-year-old Caden is in 4th grade. He appreciates these conversations with his mother.
If she doesn't talk about it, then the student or person that's doing it wouldn't get in trouble. So she's just trying to be on the safe side.
He says having security guards around and practicing lockdowns makes him feel safe.
That kind of gives the worries off of my mind, so I can be a little bit safe.
I spoke with therapist Sandy Quas with Coastal Haven Counseling. She says school shootings are happening so often that's leading to young children developing anxiety or being scared to go to school.
For them at their age, it kind of brings to them to the thought that, my days might be numbered. Normally as a little kid, you don't think those things. But, you see police officers in the school with guns and things, and all of a sudden you're fearing for your own life.
If you're looking to talk to your kids about today's incidents, she recommends just asking them about it.
As a parent, ask probing questions to find out what they know, if anything, and if they do know things, and how are they feeling about it.
Amber's youngest son, Cameron, has his own advice to help the ones struggling during these tough situations.
You have to protect people, listen to people, and take care over people.